What's up, folks? Good morning. This is Monday morning. My last Monday before we get started there. Before I get headed to work there. We're going to see what's going on. This is Magic Mondays with VA3EWV on the air. And yeah, we'll just get started here and see who's on the radio this morning. Here we go. All right. Make sure the volume is up. That's task number 1. Make sure volume is up. All right. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor VA3EWV. Ernest in St. Andrews, West Ontario. We're looking for any emergency traffic or seeing if the repeater's in use. Okay, nothing there. So far, so good. Let me just turn it around. Okay, nothing heard. Good morning. This is VA3EWV, Ernest in St. Andrews, West Ontario, with On the Air with VA3EWV on this Monday edition. It is November 20th. It's 8:01 a.m. Weather report right quick. We're looking at a -2. Humidity of 61. Looks like a high of 1 and a low of 9 tonight, with 0% chance of any white stuff or any wet stuff. Okay, we're going to be taking check-ins this morning on one of my last 8 o'clock. So I don't know how long that's going to be, but I know tomorrow I start at 8 o'clock, so we'll see how all that transpires. But let's come on in today and have some fun and get those check-ins in. VA3WV listening.
Hey Ernest, does my audio sound normal, VA3EWV?
Sure does. It sounds full quality and loud and clear here. How you doing this morning, Rick? VA3 Echo Victor.
Not too bad. I'm going to make another test. Hang on a second. No, this is a different rig. That's what I'm trying to figure out is the audio level on it. Just give me a second. Okay, how's the audio on this thing compared to the other one? Louder or weaker over?
This one, I wouldn't say weaker. It is quieter. The other one's louder. But you know, I'm a 3-day-old ham person here. But this one here is quieter but very clear. The other one was louder and still very clear. Hope that helps.
So you're saying this one's not as loud? Okay, hang on a second.
Good.
So you're saying that this one is louder?
Yes, for sure. For sure, I would say it has more modulation, if that's the right word to use. But it is more robust, a deeper sound, whatever. I'm no expert at this, but it's got a, like, to me, you're not like maybe a base station radio. Another one still sounds good, but this one's louder, if that makes any sense. Hope that helps.
Yeah, okay. No, this is a commercial radio. I got the program from Doug and I set it up. It's a UHF radio and going to be, I guess you could say, a radio people can use if they ain't got the equipment yet, but except for the antenna. It's a loaner, I guess you can say, to new people or somebody that needs communication, or for other events or something along that line. But it's got all the UHF channels that we have in it, and I was just checking it out. I have 2 of them like that. This is just one of them. So VA3WV, VA3EV, over.
Thank you so much for that, Rick. Yeah, so you have 2 of those. They are commercial radios, and they're UHF only. Is that right?
Yeah, that's how commercial equipment is. They don't cover, they're not like ham radios, get 6 bands on it. This is meant to cover 4:30. I'm trying to remember. I'm ignoring it. They're both turned on right now. Yeah, they have different dash numbers, but they're all ICOM F420s and dash 9s. They have dash 8s. And I think dash 7s, I'm not sure. But since they can't cover they're not a bullfang, let's put it this way, they don't cover from A to Z. They have little chunks that they work on,
All right, and we're taking other check-ins. Please come now, VA3EWV.
VA3KCB.
Net recognizes Rick, VA3KCB. And thank you for checking in like that, Rick. I was on the net this morning with Devin there. It's called the Wake Up Net. And my goodness, it wasn't good enough quality to record this morning because I had to do Echolink. It was sounding really bad, and I found out it wasn't Echolink that was the problem. But the first 20 or so minutes, I couldn't even make out what they were saying. And then something happened and everything cleared up. But I mean, that net is so popular, and it's covering 3 locations. I was given those locations. I didn't write it down. But for all you guys, Murray was out there this morning. Murray said hi to me this morning, VE1LJ. Murray's like, oh, I'm in the Seaway Valley Amateur Radio Club. I didn't say that, but he just knew it, and he told everybody, oh, I'm in the same club as Ernest there, you know. But it was good to hear from him. And the reason I'm saying that, Rick, is because they really need to do that. I'm not saying that it's something that everybody should do, but when those nets are like that have all, and they only say their last 3 digits. So it was just like long lines of just letters being thrown in. And I'm like, this must be a miracle work, the net controller. Must be a miracle work to even pull all that stuff out. But he was doing it. Back over to you, VA3KCB. I don't know how he did it.
Well, that sounds pretty interesting. I didn't think you got up that early in the morning, but I guess starting soon you will be. Starting tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah.
This could be the last morning show, although I'm sure a lot of us will be on. I'm not sure if we're going to have a net controller that brings everybody out of the woodwork.
I hear you on that. It does. I tell you what, it's not easy, especially get people to press the button. You know, I'm gonna come back to you there. We're gonna see if anybody else out there, because I got a funny story for you. VA3EWV. We're out here on the Monday show. It's 8:09 a.m. We've had 2 call-ins so far. We're looking for a third. Could that be you, VA3EWV listening? Oh.
And this is the last day of the episode of the morning show, over?
Yeah, I go for my first, I think it would be called orientation. So my orientation is tomorrow. And it starts at 8. So I have no idea what my schedule will be and all that stuff. I was told I'll be giving that an orientation. And Devin's here. He's checking in on Facebook. He says that net is for Nova Scotia, PEI, New Brunswick. So their net covers 3 provinces. That's why so many people. Yeah, but Rick, yes. I start tomorrow at 8. So I'll be leaving here at 6:30 just to make sure I get parking when I get in the auto, because I work downtown on Elgin Street. I did that before, no big deal. But I had parking at City Hall, right? Which is right across from the building that I work at. So I'm back at the same place that I work for shared services. And I was all last week I was looking for parking, and I guess they did a good job by getting everybody back to work downtown, because all the parking places, they're all booked up, and some places like City Hall aren't even taking applications for parking places. So I might have to do like a parking ride thing, or commute or whatever. But it won't be me commuting, because I like to be on the radio. So if I have to walk a country block, that's just going to make me slim down a little bit and get more exercise. But I can't see sitting in silence on an hour plus drive every morning. All right. Yeah, so that's it. We're looking for other check-ins or more comments. Oh, shit.
You're monitoring V2CRA, correct?
Oh, QSL. That's gonna. I'm telling you. As soon as I pull out the parking lot, I'm gonna be on that one. Rick, as you know, I've had so much success on that and my mobile, and I'm pretty proud too because I talk to a lot of people around here and they can't even get it, and some of them even have antennas up to like 30, 40 feet and this and that. But I can key up right in my driveway in the car and get on CRA. I can hear them for sure, and I can reach them, but I have to do 50 watts though, right? If I do low power, I'm not hitting the repeater. If I do medium, it breaks up. High is a hit and miss depending on wherever the car's turned. But when I hit turbo and put the 50 watts out there, the fan's going, but I can still reach it over.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the extra poop sometimes works. But, yeah, maybe I'll be able to listen to you in the morning because, since I can get into V2CRA, so. Well, maybe catch you from time to time at that time. And I guess the frequency at this time will kind of go dead. You won't be around to run the early morning QSO net there, so. Life will change in Cornwall. Such is life. Lord.
Rick, you got me laughing my butt off over here. See, you don't hear it on the radio, but you'll be able to hear my outburst. And Rick, VA3 KCB, I still have a funny story for you, but I'm just gonna write down a funny story in my paper so I can remember to tell you. And for what Rick, VA3 EWV was saying about the airways, I have another story for that, of course. Let's see if we have a third person out there though. Go ahead. If there's anybody out there want to check in this morning, go ahead. Oh shit, that's funny. VE1DXW. Okay. Okay, it's just us trio right now. I guess the rest of the people still there. Rick, for VA3 Echo Victor, when I said I had a funny story for you, yeah, I kind of noticed people are on the radio. I know that. But like VA3 KCB was saying, yes, I have all the confidence in the world that you guys, let's say I get stuck on this 8 to 4 thing, have all the confidence in the world that people, come on now. What's going on with this thing? Okay, so Debbie can't stay on too long there, he said. VA3 KCB, VA3EWV returning. Are you still in there? Over.
Oh, sure am. I'm always here.
Hey, so question for you. Now I've been on earlier and I've heard you online. What time do you usually get on the radio, or not on the radio, but what time do you usually buy a radio that you can listen on? Usually in the morning.
I get out of bed about 4:30 in the morning, and then I go straight to the computer. I have the 2-meter radios beside me in the shack, along with my computer, but I don't turn the 2-meter or the dual bands on until I get home. I just grab my portable at 7:30, throw it in my pocket, and then I get my coffee and I come down here till 9. I really don't turn on the
Okay, well, have you tried to get on that VE2CRA on the base station, or only in the car so far?
No, I've tried on the base station. The Yankee is pointing towards Ottawa, if you will, and it just won't pick it up.
Oh yeah, because you have because you have an 11 meter antenna up, and your Yagi is the 2 meter. Okay, I got you. And then in your car, you have the UHF VHF antenna. Okay, I got you now.
Yeah, and down, I've tried CRA down here at the river. There's a lot of buildings in the way. You know, I'm at river level, which is about 85 feet lower than what my QTH is. And I can't even key up at all. Some reason I can pick up and talk into Iroquois, which is totally west of where I live. But I'm on the west side of the hospital, and the repeater we're discussing is east of me towards Montreal.
You can't get through Bonneville, that's the problem, the hill there.
Well, I can't get through Bonneville? Is that what you just said, Rick?
Yeah, that's right. That's a hill, and it's a couple of 100 feet. And that's one of the reasons why it gets out so well, is that it's on a hill with a 300-foot antenna on top of that. It's almost equivalent, I guess, almost 600 feet, so it gets out quite well. And if you're trying to get into V2CRA, from your QTH, you're down by the water, you ain't going to do it because, like anything else on this frequency, it's line of sight plus a bit, depending on which band you're working on, but it's generally line of sight. So if V2CRA, which is, I guess you could say north of Ottawa, and if you figure out, look at it on a map, you'll see that you got the big hump called Bonneville in the middle of it over.
Okay, so CRA is still, would it be north of the hospital, Rick?
No, what I'm saying is the V2CRA is north of Ottawa on the other side, and from Cornwall, I can get into it because I'm on the west end of Cornwall. If I point my antenna toward V2CRA, I do not go through Bonneville. My signal is bypassing Bonneville to the west, so I don't go and get interfered with that chunk of land that sticks up in the middle that's interfering with you. Over.
Good morning, Michael. I see you out there.
All right, I've got a good picture of it now. Now I understand.
How's it going, Michael? I see you out there. I'm having some internet issues at the house today, so I don't know what's happening, but it's been going in and out.
Sure, on the
I'll have to
mobile
reset it and see what's up.
High power. It could have been on low power.
Well, that's what Ernest is saying. He needs high power, but Ernest is already partway up the hill, so I forget how many feet he would be to the top of the hill, but I'm trying to remember how high V2CRA is. I don't think I have any information on that. I just know the mountains. The west side of the Laurentian Mountains are, on the other side of Ottawa.
Okay, well, back to you, Ernest.
VA3 Echo Victor, VA3 KCB, VA3EWV returning, yeah. So, there you have it. And I'm at repeaterbook.com, by the way. And I went to Cap Fortune, VE2CRA, the old Chelsea, Quebec repeater there. It shows the downlink, the uplink, the grid, the call. Also says that it has RLP, which is great. It says coverage. Can hit it from Blue Sea Lake, Quebec, 100-kilometer radius. And it's on 25 hertz analog bandwidth, okay? And also, when I'm looking at the map of it, I'm just going to put the camera around so people can see it that are on the Facebook, because we've got some more people out there on Facebook. VA3LI is out there. But when you look at it on the map there, if everybody wants to go out there, repeaterbook.com, you'll see the repeater. It's a little blue tower there. And we can see Cornwall right in there. The circle goes right through the O of Cornwall. So if you're in the COR part, you can probably hit it. But if you're in the NWALL part, you're not going to hit it. Anyway, that's great. So, excuse me, we have VA3LI checking in as well out there on Facebook. Good to have you in there with us this morning. Looking for other check-ins on the actual radio. If you're out there, you want to come say hi, good morning, please come down.
This is VE3ARF mobile.
VE3ARF, Rob, net recognized to come on in there.
Good morning, Ernest and Rick and everyone else who's listening. Just happy that the truck's finally warmed up. Felt like a cold morning this morning. I don't know why it felt colder than the other days, and it's not the coldest yet, but it just felt that way. Anyway, the truck's warmed up, and I'm on my way to where I'm heading to Green Valley today, and I'm just going to be listening along and continue on your conversation, the 3ARF mobile.
Thank you very much there, VE3ARF. Okay, so just a little recap since we're almost at the 8:30 hour here. We had VA3 Echo Victor in there, Rick. Also testing us commercial gear there. VA3 KCB, Rick, down by the riverside, Rick. VE1 DXW Devin coming in from Nova Scotia there. VA3LI is on the Facebook with us this morning, saying hello. Also saw the fellow from the States, Paul. He's in there. I know he has a K something call sign. I do have it in the book here, so I'll get Paul in there. Excuse me, not Paul, Ryan. K15TJL, K15TJL, K15TJL. Okay, and so yeah, that brings us up to 6. Do we have a number 7 in there? Please come on in. Or KI5. Sorry, thank you for the. You're right. It's not two numbers beside each other. It is Kilo India 5, Tango Juliet Lima. Thank you for. I'm putting a little top and bottoms on that, so I'll know it's an actual I. When I look at it on the screen, the eyes just look like ones. They need to. When they put it on the Facebook, it didn't have the little distinctive thing looking like a 1 there. Okay, that's Ryan. R-Y-A-N. Rob. Michael. Devin. Okay, so for I was at Rob's house yesterday, and he was showing me. Excuse me. Oh my God. He was showing me FT4. And I'm like, what's FT4? He said it's half the FT8. I know sometimes the jokes aren't that good. I'm not a jokester, but that was funny to me. And I just kept laughing and laughing and giggling. And I just kept saying over and over in my head, oh, what's FT4? Half the FT8. But anyway, it's a little shorter for the tone. The tone sounds a little bit different. And then it started making me think of something. Let me just catch my breath. I seem to have the cough this morning. Oh, if there's someone that needs to come on in, if you want to check in, please come on in, and I'll continue with the story. We're taking a pause to see if there's any check-ins. Okay, nothing heard. So, Rob, if you can hear me, do you remember Kimberly, VA3EWV? You remember her?
Oh, yes, of course. She was asking some questions about...
Oh, yeah, come on in.
And she's like taking to it like a duck to water.
Yeah, so, she's been doing that, loving it. She hopped in with both feet, let me tell you. And I saw her post on the site yesterday that she was watching some contesting, She goes, oh, yeah, there are a couple of contests going on and stuff like that. And she was just listening to it. And then she says, well, they were going so fast I couldn't really understand what they were saying. And it made me giggle. Lots of things make me giggle, but it's because my first time as a ham, I have been listening to the Monday Night Net here, couple check-ins, little no traffics, little beans in the pots, not a lot of back and forth stuff, right? Active, but not like, back and forth stuff. And then I didn't understand why, and now I kind of really understand. It's all kind of coming around. The folks in HF land, there are a couple of conversational things, but most of it is just contacts, and it reminded me of this for VA3KCB. Back when I first got on the internet, every time you would go to talk to somebody, they would go ASL. And I was like, what the hell is ASL? So for about 3 or 4 months, I was just like, I don't know what the heck ASL. And remember, internet was brand new, right? I had Windows 95. I remember getting my AOL online a floppy disk in the mail and getting all that stuff all put up in there. And just for the longest time, it was like ASL. And then finally someone said age, sex, location, right? And that reminds me of when you're on the radio, people only want to know your call sign, and then your tone, your readability. No, not tone. I think tone is for CW. But anyway, they just want to know that, right? Like how you're being read and what you're coming in, what your power is, or whatever. And I said to her, oh, that's why, to me, I don't understand why. Let me pause right quick.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah, so to me, with that being said, I start laughing because I said to her, well, for the people who question FT8, FT4, whatever, at least those folks, they're doing the same thing. They're just getting a reading. They're getting a power reading or something like that. Rob, you could probably help me out with that. But they're only getting like 3 things. Call sign, something else, and then like a grid or something. Is that it? Is that what you guys are gathering?
Yeah, that's correct. That's kind of it. You get your call sign, your signal to noise ratio, and the grid square. So that's your exact location, really pretty accurate location. So, yep, that's what we get.
Yeah, so that's on FT8. So when you're doing contesting, what are you gathering for your thing? When you're doing contesting and putting in your logbook, what are you trying to gather for the person to say yes, I talked to that person? Is it the same thing? Call sign. I wrote it down. Call sign, SN, and grid square. But what are you getting for regular contesting?
Well, contest is a bit of a different animal. It depends on the contest. Like, you could have some where you're collecting ARRL sections, like ours is Ontario East. There could be some where they're actually collecting a progressive number starting at 00 and going 000 going upwards. So you might go, hey, you're 59, you're my 10th contact, so 010, and then you get the number from them. It could be your location, like Ontario. Could be
is the signal report. So you need your signal report and whatever the other element of the contest is.
And then yesterday in the sweepstake contest, which I was listening to, they were using the number of years you're a ham radio.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's the one where the year that you started in radio and the section number and your shoe size and your blood type. Yeah, that one.
Do they really ask that? That's pretty hilarious if that's it. But I like the one with the year. So for that one, it would be, I guess you hear someone calling or whatever, and then you identify yourself. This is VA3 Echo Victor. I guess that's what you would say. They come back with something else, and then you go VA3 Echo Victor. You're a 5'9". I'm 6'0", 60 years in ham radio, and then something along those lines, right?
Actually, the year that you were licensed.
See, that's pretty cool. This is what you need to have conversations and to have these nets going on. So that's pretty awesome. But excuse me, I can't keep it together this morning because it's so funny about my dream last night. Hold on one second. I'll be right back.
By the way, they don't ask for your shoe size or your blood type. I was just goofing around. They do ask for your power level because you have to choose what level you're going into on the contest. So if you're QRP or regular power or amplifier. So they have all sorts of different designators for that. But that's just to teach people how to handle traffic, right? Try to be accurate with the information that they're receiving and in adverse conditions. So that's what it's really about.
Okay, I copy that QSL. Yeah, but everything is uniform, and everything has a uniformity to it. So then once you pick up on that, then you can just pop in and go on. I find myself doing that, everyone, on all the nets that I think I'm up to 9. Take away Procom, I'm back down to 8. Because I listen to 8 different nets now throughout the week. And you have to adjust yourself to how those net controllers work and stuff like that. And some they'll say, okay, well, now I'm taking check-ins, right? And they'll say from mobiles and portables. And these are just money, like daily nets, not a weekly net like ours here in our local club. We do one weekly net, and we start with mobiles and portables, And then on the other frequency that we used to be able to all talk on, we would then say, Echolink or whatever, or AllStar. But I see that a lot of different nets do a lot of different things. And I guess the busier you are, like the one that does all those 3 places I talked about earlier, like the Nova Scotia, whatever those places I had rammed off, you have to have some kind of uniformity. They need to be like the Weather Channel. Because when they're taking things off 3 provinces, it's a doggone train wreck. I don't even know how they get through it, right? And you have to have a fast pen, with a smooth tip on it. And you have to know who these people are, because if you're just doing the last 3 digits, I remember being told about that by V3HTR right off the bat. It's like, hey, look, don't get into any bad habits, right? If you're taking the 3 digits, yeah, okay, but you're gonna find yourself in a situation. So yeah, when I listen to that net that starts at 6:30 in the morning there on VALI or whatever, VE3LI, no, VE1, you have to have some type of method to your madness. Anyway, that's a lot of me talking. I don't know if I've even tripped over a repeater. So let's see if there's anybody else that wants to come in there. VA3EWV listening.
I have one final comment on the contest.
Go ahead there, Rob. No, you said one final. You said you had one final comment on the contest. Go ahead, please.
I thought somebody came in there to say so. Yeah, 5'9". Everybody's 5'9". Doesn't matter where you are, who you are, what you are. You came in there and said anything other than 5'9", I think they'd look at you funny. They'd be like, what the heck? Because all the programs are set up for contesting with 5'9" reports. They're all set up that if I put in a call sign and you come up on my computer, it's going to be a 5'9" exchange. And the funniest thing is when you hear them going, yeah, you're 5'9", can you repeat your call? Yeah, you're 5'9", what's your call? What's your call again? And they're struggling to get the call across. Okay, you're 5'9", thanks. Anyway, it's one of the little humorous things that always takes place in the contest.
So yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I know I've been getting my when I can remember, because I'm talking so much now, I'm forgetting to put my QSL things in, and you're right. I use that like when I'm doing my own nets for sure. I use QRZ. I have to, and I like it because most of the time it's pretty accurate, and it helps me like Rick was saying this morning. He goes, "Are you sure that's K1?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." Let's see if you go put the K1 in there. We'll tell you straight away that something's wrong. But no, you're absolutely right. That makes me chuckle a little bit because in my little 9 months experience, you're right. You hear a lot of 5'9s, right? So it's kind of like the ASL thing, If you're not in that right age group and stuff, you're not getting no comebacks for the ASL. But I wrote back to VA3EWV there, and I said to her, I'm like, there's room in ham for everybody. So if you like the best of both, you can actually do contesting, and you can do your FT8 and stuff, and you can do your local things too. There's the best table to sit at with ham radio, because there's stuff for everyone, right? And then I was thinking, even with people with disabilities, if you cannot speak, you can still do FT8, you can still do CW. I'm sure there's all type of stuff that you can do, even if you can't speak. If you can't hear, I've seen people getting down that are blind as hell, still getting on the radio and doing their thing, right? So, and even I've look on the internet. There's even dragon speaking or whatever that'll even help you over your things like FT8. So it's a great thing. I haven't, and I guess if you didn't even have arms or hands, you can still do it because I see the people out there with the foot pedals and stuff. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. But I'm going to share a quick funny dream with you guys. It was kind of something I was talking about, and it kind of melted into a dream. But I woke myself up laughing. Here we go. Let me pause. Any emergency traffic or anybody want to pop in and say hello before I get started with my long-winded dream there? Come on in.
Victor Alpha 3 X-ray Delta Zulu.
Victor Alpha 3 X-ray Delta Zulu on the big radio. Come on in there. You sound good. You're really sounding like a 5'9", not a pretend 5'9". Good morning to you.
Morning, everybody. It's the original Jason here. I've just thought I'd pop in and say hi. 7-3s to everybody. We'll get back to your team there. It's always fun to hear stuff. So, nothing really to report. I'm just on the back end of getting ready for a colonoscopy at 1 o'clock. So we're not having super fun over here, but it's not too bad. So back to you, Ernest, and 7-3s to everybody on frequency.
Hey, VA3 X-ray Delta Zulu. Like how you threw that colonoscopy right there. It comes. You guys got to see these videos and look at my facial expression when I sit there and you guys are on the radio. Y'all crack me up. But look, all best for your health and stuff like that. I was about to tell my story because when I hear stuff or I have conversations with people, I visualize things. And my wife, who's been married to me for 23 years, she hates it because every time she's saying something to me, I'll either giggle or I'll make faces, And she says, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just visualizing what you're talking about. So anyway, on my mini ventures yesterday, I was at quite a few people's houses and stuff and, different conversations. And I do talk a lot to people that are not in Cornwall, right? And I was doing that through technology provided by one of our repeaters that's being updated or whatever right now. So, VE1DXW asked me, hey, do you guys have that technology back up? I'm like, no, sorry, we don't right now. And then I started thinking of how many people actually use that here, right? So I got some information. I'm doing a report. We do a net report every Monday night. So I got some new data to put into the master sheet so I can have the uses for the year for the president, for the end of the year there. And then I started thinking in my head of how many people are talking on the radio and how many people are listening on the radio. Let me pause. So in my mind, for people I've met, I can see their faces and stuff like that, And as you guys know, if you're looking at the Facebook group, I was trying to do little pictures of people, put their call sign on, make it look pretty, and everybody started looking like VA3KCB. So no matter what face I put on, it was that. Anyway, I came to a point where I laid my head down, thank God for another day, drifted off into sleep there, and I was thinking about the Kimberly conversation, Devin conversation, so on and so forth. And then, there's some stuff happening around here with, things, and I had a person say to me, hey, don't you care about that? Don't you want to bring these people to justice, right? So, anyway, I had this dream about, I finally broke down like, yes, I want to help bring them to justice. So there I was, this black guy, and I was looking for a superhero outfit, right? So I had the cape and everything like that. And then I was, I was like on the Justice League, because I had to bring this guy to justice and stuff like that. So anyway, what it was, I thought I was going to be having all these adventures and, communicating, and it made me think of, let me pause one more time. It made me think of one of my first times with the local club. We did an emergency exercise with the South Glengarry something or another. But I thought it was going to be like in my car and having this updated stuff. And last night I was watching President Biden and President Xi's motorcades, and you see these black trucks with these big antennas on them and stuff like that. And I just imagined myself, black man, black cape, with the Justice League symbol on me, riding one of those big old trucks and stuff like that. But then when I went to the meeting for us to figure out who this stuff was, it was 32 guys sitting around the computer, sitting around a radio with headphones on, and that was all that was happening, right? And I remember I was laughing so hard that I woke up from that. But that was my funny story about all the stuff going on in my life, and I thought I was going to go out there and see all this action, and all it is a bunch of people sitting around listening to the radio. Anyway, I'm going to bring it back over for any comments, but before we do we have anybody that wants to check in? We've had 7 check-ins so far, looking for number 8. Please come on in.
I have a comment, Ernest.
Net recognizes VE3EWV. Come on in.
Well, the 32 guys all crowded around the radio, and then somebody burped, and they all sprung into action, and they all went scattering in 32 different directions.
No, that did not transpire. I woke up after that. I just thought it was funny. I thought that we were just going to be, like these, I just found it hilarious. But that took a lot of different things, a lot of conversations and stuff like that. And, we were doing the AI stuff. And what I learned with AI, you have to be so particular about what you ask for. And even when I kept saying, no beard, no beard, no beard, every guy had put a no beard on. And then if I said just regular white male, it made the person look like they were 20. If I said middle-aged male, it always put a beard, right? So I guess that dream was more about, how you say stuff and things like that, and who all's affecting. Because at the end of the day, in my personal experience, to build off what a VA3 Echo Victor was saying, I spent an awful lot of time on the radio, not on HF because I don't have HF privileges. And trust me, I'm trying to get there, I'm doing tests every week and stuff like that, and it's just not, some stuff sinking in, but not quick enough, eh? But I'm sure it'll come. But for now, you know, I'm on the regular local stuff, and I use technology because, you know, every day here, if I have 9 or 10 check-ins, 4 or 5 people aren't even from around here, right? So, which means they're not a part of the group or the local club, which means I can't talk to them on all repeaters that we have. So, anyway, and then at the end of that, I was thinking about how many people are actually on the radio and actually having conversations, opposed to just sitting there listening to the radio. But that's I've never had a kind of like a what do you call it, soapbox thing. But I wanted to just say that before I head off into this new thing of the work thing. And let me pause one time. And you know, I really hope that this little 8 to 9 thing carries on. You guys have lots of fun. Who knows? I might get a 10 to 6 for the job I took. It's actually 24/7. I prefer to work overnights. That's going to be a big gamble if they give it to me because I'm English only. But if they are able to give it to me, that'll be the best shift. I love working overnights. I did it for almost 20 years. It lets me have a good, you know, daytime thing and get stuff done. And, you know, it's all, I just like working the night. So hopefully I can get those guys to give me that. But for my last 3 posts over the last 7 years, I've been stuck on 4 to 12s. But I was a manager. This time around, I won't be a manager. Anyway, we're going to be looking for more check-ins or comments. We have 7, looking for 8. I haven't heard from Dean, VA3BS. He was usually checking in on Facebook there. I know he's doing some shack work. We haven't heard from VA3AQE either this morning. Or VA3MJW. Those are some people that are usually on there. Hadn't heard from them. If you're out there, come give us a shout. VA3EWV listening. Okay, other than that, I was speaking with VA3EWV, and man, he has a beautiful little radio. It actually fits in the palm of your hand. Well, I have big hands, but it still fits in the palm of your hand. He said it was on a Belfang site and found it. It's a dual band radio. The microphone is almost bigger than the radio itself, but it is so sweet. I love it. I think it does 20 watts. Very easy to program, and the reason I'm talking about that little radio, I'm about to be faced with a dilemma where I know I use my radio every day to talk on it, right? It has a microphone and all that stuff like that. So I don't want to be taking the radio from out the shack, putting it in the car every day. I'm afraid something might break or I might drop it or, you know, something like that. So I was like, man, I wish I could have 2 of these. Can't afford it right now because the radio was over $500. But I'm like, I wouldn't mind finding a solution. But also, I know I talk on DMR a lot as well. And I know I talk on DMR when I'm in Ottawa and Gatineau because I hit the DMR repeaters there. So I was hoping to find something, you know, a stand-in radio that could do some good wattage too. Because another thing I've been playing around with that I never did before was the national calling frequency stuff, right? So now I have that, and I've made contacts on the road heading toward Ottawa with that. And it's really good when you have a radio that does, like, you know, the 50 watts. What I'll be doing also testing is I have a Malenko radio that Victor Alpha 3 Echo Vic gifted me, and I'm going to see who's out there in Ottawa on 220. Maybe they have some action going around there because that radio does, I know, at least 30 watts. Anyway, that's what's going to be happening. I know I'm going to have some fun. And as you guys know, let me pause. I had went for 3 interviews in Ottawa there. I had went to one with a septic tank company that did porta potties and stuff like that. And I wanted that job because you'd be solo in the car. I also tried to do a propane job. Again, you're solo in not the car, you're solo in the vehicle. And then I tried to do one that was, they did grease traps. Again, you're solo in the vehicle, right? After feedback from those people, the only reason I didn't get a job, there's a big demand on DZ drivers, and AZ drivers, and the people who beat me out on the jobs were DZ and AZ qualified. Anyway, so since I couldn't get a job like that, well, the commute to Ottawa, I'm not going to look at it as a bad thing. I'll look at it as a good thing, so I'll be burning up the airwaves to and from. So if I'm getting off at 4, I'll be getting back to my car around 4:30 and hitting the road heading this way. So between 4:30 and 5:30, 6 o'clock, I should be on the air. And who knows, you know, we might be able to get an evening net going on, who knows, right? Anyway, this is VA3EWV, sending it back over to the group for any comments. Okay, we're almost at the end of our hour here. It is 8:53 here. The sun is shining bright. I got those squint in my eye. I'm going to have to put me some blinds or something up in my shack here. But again, it's been a great June, July, August, September, October, November. A great 6 months of vacation. I'm not at all ready to retire. I know that. I've done everything I could around my house, inside the house, outside the house, at everybody else's house. And I'm bored to tears. So it's time for me to get back to it. Put in another probably 10 years, and then I'll be ready to sit back and relax. Anyway, I'm going to ask for one last check-in. If nothing, we're going to return this repeater to its normal operating use. VA3EWV, we're listening.
Victor Alpha 3, Radio Lima Golf.
Net recognizes Victor Alpha 3, Radio Lima Golf. Come on in there. Victor Alpha 3, Radio Lima Golf. Victor Alpha 3, Radio Lima Golf. Victor Alpha 3, Radio Lima Golf. I got you in there. Do you read me over? VA3EWV. Oh, sorry. Shit. Try that one more time. I accidentally talked when you were talking. Victor Alpha 3, Radio Lima Golf, VA3EWV, listening. Okay, nothing heard. I'll still be monitoring the frequency. I'll be doing a little work on the Facebook page there, making the little badges for everybody who checked in today, checking out the stream there to see if I missed anybody. And it is 8:56 a.m. Got 4 more minutes left in the ball game. I'm going to be on the side listening there and getting to work on the updates, like I said. If anybody wants to come in after that, just pop on in and say hello. If nothing's heard by 9, we'll close out the net. Everybody have a good day. And we're on the side standing by. Okay, so for all you online there listening, I'm working on some stuff there in the background. We'll have a little background music going on too at the same time. We'll get our badges ready for the day. We had 8 check-ins this morning, so that's not bad at all. That's pretty good. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor VA3EWV with our On the Air with VA3EWV on this Monday edition. Today we had 8 check-ins. We have Victor Alpha 3 Echo Rick, Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Charlie Bravo Rick, Victor Echo 1 DXW Devin, VA3LI Michael, who's in Kingston actually right now. He was able to join us by Facebook. Devin's in Nova Scotia joined us also by Facebook there. VE3ARF Rob in the mobile. KI5 Tango Juliet Lima joined us by Facebook as well. All those Facebookers would have been joining us via Echolink if we had that. VA3XDZ Jason the original, and also VA3RLG Romeo Lima Golf. Anybody else before we close this one off? Come on in. If not, we'll return this repeater to its normal operating functions. Okay, nothing heard, so we're going to return the repeater over. Everybody have a good day. VA3KCB, if you're out there, please let me know.
VA3KCB here. Ernest, have yourself a good start to your new job tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Yes, I'll hopefully everything goes all right, and hopefully the drive-in is going to look like today. The wife told me last week we're supposed to have snow tomorrow, so I'm going to go make sure I have all that that stuff that you put on the windows there, the anti-freezing stuff and things like that. Make a double check just to make sure I have the snow brush in there, and yeah, I know I got my snow tires on, and I'll just throw the blankets and all that. I have a little kit that I keep in the back of the car with the jumper cables and the blankets and those hot pads for your feet and your toes. You never know what's going to happen. 138 can be very treacherous, so I want to make sure I'm on that. Anyway, Rick, later on, if you have the time, this is nothing that's urgent, but if you have the time, give me a call on the landline there, okay? Have a good rest of your day, everybody. VA3EWV, and we'll see everybody tonight for the local chat there. All right.